Very special in-studio guest today is Todd Barrett with Modern Element Construction. You're in honor. We're here with the Golden Knights. We always open up with something Vegas and sports. You've got an amazing resume and history related to the Golden Knights. You've built the Golden Knights, the owner's $32 million home, City National Center. We're going to talk about all that exciting things. And you were a radio host right here in Las Vegas.
Yes,
country music, right when the Urban Cowboy came out and all those days, right? John Travolta, 1980. Yeah. You were in the thick of it at that
Mechanical bull
point.
riding and all of that.
And you and Jim Dallas were bantering about your time in the radio, knowing the same people. But the Golden Knights, we were on the Kevin Walsh show 2 weeks ago. We did not think they were going to make it. They lost their first game in Anaheim, and here we are at the start of the Western Conference Final. We got it live in studio right now. Who do you have? Aren't the Avalanche favored by just a smidge?
A little bit, yeah. And if you look at it game by game, I saw that the Golden Knights are the underdog. Of course, they're on the road. So if you want to take them, 1.5, then that's a minus 155. That means you have to put up $155 to win 100. If you want to take the Golden Knights plus 1.5.
Do you bet at all, Todd?
No, after living in Vegas since 1967, I stay away from that. I learned a long time ago you can't live here and gamble. It's not a good thing.
Thankfully, I do not have that bug.
I have
pretty well.
I do well in football. Because I really follow football a lot. I'm always on fantasy football leagues and things like that. So, yeah, that's pretty much the end of my gambling. It's just on football.
I try not to bet on anything I can't control, so that's how I look at it.
Yeah.
But actually, to your point, I was shocked that we actually got past Utah. Yeah. I was more worried about Utah than I ever was Anaheim. Because if you would have looked at the standings, they actually had more wins, more points than we did. Yeah. And the only reason they were the wild card was just because of the division they played in. So I was more worried about Utah than I was anybody else.
This is the tough one for me. Yeah. The Avalanche, they're the best team in the NHL, I do believe.
By far this year. And it's not to say that the Knights can't beat them. They can. I mean, when they play well and they play their game, they can beat anybody. They're dominant.
If they can get through this series, I think they win it all.
Oh yeah, I agree. I agree. Colorado though is a great team. I kind of have a little bit of an insight where I play golf. One of the guys I play golf with is a scout. He goes out and recruits all the what would be the B teams and things like that. So I have a little bit of insight of how good they really are. But I think the Knights can do it. I think they definitely need to split one game in Colorado. If they can win one, come back here, and win a couple here, I think they've got a realistic shot to take them out.
When you say you have a little insight, so in 2021, you and I were doing a project together out in Southern Highlands. I went to your store. You owned an amazing, it was absolutely gorgeous. You had a Golden Knights store, a freestanding one back I went and I was actually shocked, but because you have modern design elements, you do high-end homes. We're talking $32 million homes. You were name dropping all there, the casino owners and different A-listers you have built for. So we went in and each bathroom you had designed a little bit different, right, to show different style. But you had this Golden Knights store. You're no longer a part of that, but that was pretty amazing. It had everything in there, and that was, the Knights were pretty new to town, only a few years at that point.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And how that came to pass was we were in a meeting one time, and they were going to put a store in Green Valley Ranch. And everything was set up, and there was a meeting, and Mr. Foley was in the meeting. And basically he said, well, I'm not in the retail business. I'm in the hockey business. And we're all looking at him going, no, that's exactly what you're in, is the retail business.
As well.
And so he didn't do it. So I went to them afterwards and said, can I? And coincidentally, my daughter had run Michael Kors for 10 years. And so she had a retail background. And so we kind of put everything together, and she put the store together, and we had it for 5 or 6 years. It was over on Sunset and 95. It was actually in our construction office. It was a big warehouse office, and we split it, and half of it was the store, and half of it was our
beautiful.
offices. You know, and it was nice. It was beautiful, and it was very successful. But what happened was my daughter set it up so quick, and it was running kind of by itself. She started to help us out on our side of the building. Well, she became so good at our side and did such a great job. I said, I can find anybody to run that thing. So I brought her into our side of the building, and coincidentally, she now runs everything.
Well, we're going to talk about how you actually came onto the show. We had another guest, and Dana reached out to you. My wife's known your family for 40-plus years, dating herself. But you came out. We're doing a project, and we can't officially say we're there, but we're on a close luxury car condos up by the strip. So I called you. I said, this is the project.
Yeah, we gotta bring, that's the guy.
Yeah, this is the guy. So, we got these guys that have lots of money to burn that want to make these incredible cars. We had you come out, shop it, look at it and everything, and we're working on that. We're getting a Peterson custom cabinets. You just sent me, we got some renderings coming. We're going to talk more about those in that second half. By the way, I've got to mention Tycor Title. We do absolutely appreciate them. I think we had a closing with them yesterday. 2 days ago, we just had an opening with them today. I'm going to talk about Monica Riaz on the second half. We got a preliminary title report, guys, at Open Door. I'll mention it right now. They bought it with Open Door in 2021, and Open Door has their own title company, and they did not take the previous seller off. We're listing the house right now, so it shows two owners on there, even though this is not an owner. Now it's a revoked LLC. So we're getting them. I didn't call the previous title company. I called them, and I knew. She replied at 7:30 this morning. It's a listing that we're going to do. Got two owners on there. They did a full preliminary report for us. They always help me. And by the way, we talked about Tycor and Fidelity, and we're talking about Foley. Mm-hmm. Indirectly, we're all talking about the Knights there, but I appreciate it. I called Jeremy Wallace. They just absolutely take care of us and make us.
You actually had to use it.
Actually had to use it. So right now they're going to work on it without using it. When we talk about title insurance, it is to insure clean title. That so when something like this and the owner goes out, maybe they pass away, you have to go get a court order, get a quiet title, and different things. They will come on with their insurance, their attorneys, and make everything right.
I just build them. I don't worry about that.
Right, and they rarely happens, but this is a case here. This one will be an inexpensive one. It's easy to fix. It wasn't cleared, but this is a time when title insurance actually comes in. We're watching the Knights take off right now. It's nice in the studio. We got a TV right here. You said they're favored by. They're not favored. The Avalanche are favored just by a smidge.
Yeah, goal and a half.
Goal and a half.
Yeah,
I want to know where the half goal comes in.
Yeah, exactly.
Where is that?
It's it's remarkable when you watch the football and different things how many times that half point just comes in and how good they are even before AI. Now they're saying with AI the predictability is going to be so good, especially those intra-game bettings that they have in the Kalshi and things.
Hey, back on Rosenthal, that's what made Rosenthal in the mob era. That's what he was. That's what made him so famous for the mob. Was the fact that he was a great sports,
handicapper.
Handicapper, thank you. That was the word I was looking for.
You say handicapper, sometimes it was really handicapped. They go break the guy's...
No. He was a nice man. I knew him, and he was a great guy, and really very professional, very courteous. He never was rude. You'd never know he was anything but, just a really nice guy. I actually happened to be where his car blew up.
Oh, really?
I was having dinner in the Marie Callender's, and it was the barbecue place, and his Cadillac was in the parking lot, and that's when I heard the explosion. Now, the funny part about that story...
You were there when it happened?
Yeah, it was Tony Roma's.
Yeah, Tony Roma's there on Sahara. Mm-hmm. Well, the thing was I used to own the valet parking lot at Jubilation, which was a discotheque back in,
many moons
days.
Yep. And
so they would come in every weekend or during the week, and I would always park their cars. And after he got better and came out, I said, "No, Frank, you can park your own car. It's okay. I'm good.
No kidding.
I don't want to do that.
Blows up in the parking lot. Last thing I'm going to do is send your valet there. Yeah. I think we're coming up on a...
Well, I was going to just say that his house in Casino was in our neighborhood. It was in.
So when we're talking about our neighborhood, we have a place 3551 Pueblo Way, and as a bird flies, it's not very far. You got to go to it the other street, but if you walk across the fairway, it's only about 300-400 feet away. This is one that we have for third home. We also do short-term rentals. We're doing a World Series of poker rent for 45 days, but you live right over there. You know, I love that old school Vegas.
Oh,
and this
that
had
was
a sale.
great. That was a great neighborhood.
In Bel Air, Bel Air, Las Vegas Country Club. And, you know, I love that old school Vegas that is
old school.
Oh, yeah. Actually, the casino is probably the closest movie ever made to real life of what Vegas really is like.
We're going to run up on a break. We're going to come back. We're talking with Todd Barrett. You know, we're talking real estate, but you got so many interesting stories with casino owners, A-list celebrities, the homes you built. We're going to talk more. Appreciate it. We're back with the Richard Husel Real Estate Hour live on the Las Vegas Strip. Got so many things we can talk about that are fun. I do want to throw in an income-producing property. We have dozens of listings. We are busy. There's a lot of agents that are not that busy. We got commercial. We got ultra-luxury. We have everything. A lot of them do not pencil, Brian. You know, you and I will talk, and somebody will want to buy a property. I say the easiest way to figure out if it pencils, look at a given house that you have and say, go to Zillow, and it's $600,000, and it says 20% down. You're going to come up with $120,000 in closing costs. You think you're going to rent it. Scroll down to that Zestament, and you find out for the rent, right? Okay, so payment's $4,300 a month, and it shows the rental at $3,300, $3,400, right? There's an affordability all over the U.S., not Vegas. Here, I've got something actually pencils. I want to give you an address. If you're looking, you don't have to spend a lot of money. You want to get some significant income. This one absolutely pencils. Let me tell you what it is. 1632 St. Louis. That's the street that goes straight down to the stratosphere. It is actually a nice area of that particular street. Let me tell you what it is. It's got a pro forma, basically $6,000 a month with it. It's 6 permitted units. It's one large building, about 3,200 square feet, 6 separate entrances, 6 bathrooms, 6 mailboxes, 6 trash cans, parking spots, 3-year new roof in AC. The owner's netting right now about $3,500 a month, and he has tenants that have been there 7 years. And Brian came over and looked at it. We've got all new vinyl sliders. The roof is a rolled roof. It's got a RTU, a rooftop unit. It's only about 3 years old.
And you had other AC units in each of those units.
So each unit has its own floor model, window model, but they're all new. And so the guy's an amazing contractor. He's actually a B contractor. He can build anything. Been in the Carpenters Union 50 years. This absolutely pencils. And if you look at that side of town, you maybe think it's a little run down. It is not.
That one's not. Nope.
Luxury vinyl planks that has new, better lighting. It's upgraded the all the panels. If you want a house that pencils, we put it on LoopNet and everything a few days back. I've got people all over. Now, they are rented out, but if you want some income, try to find a place for $675,000. It brings you in $6,000 a month. It's essentially residential. It is zoned multifamily. Can you get somebody a loan on that, Brian?
Yes, sir. You know, they can, but they got to put down, like you said, 20% or more to make this thing work out with the way the rates are these days.
So, what about 20%? Most times you put down 20%, you're still 20% upside on your cash on cash.
This one will work out.
And this will work out. We've got one tenant that's been there 7 years, and this is easy. It's got a shed on site, mature landscaping. Everything has been updated. I'm telling you, virtually everything. If you want that, give me a call on that, 1632 St. Louis. Let's go back to the fun talk. You know, you were talking about the Maloofs. We're talking about bringing it in. I saw an interview with Dana White the other day, and he said, you know, I was offered this opportunity to bring, with the Maloofs, to bring
the UFC.
No, not the UFC, to bring hockey to the desert. It's like, hockey in the desert isn't going to work, right? And he goes, this was this missed opportunity. The guy's worth hundreds of millions. He goes, man, I missed an opportunity on that.
I think
Maloofs had the first shot.
The UFC.
He did okay. He's still all right.
He's okay.
Yeah, can't have everything, but he did it. So you have that opportunity. Then Foley, so they were going to initially sell the nights to the Maloof group. They had just gotten out of the Kings. Which didn't end. I heard on the sale part maybe as well.
It was, you know, the city didn't want them to sell, and, you know, it was just kind of one of those weird things, and it didn't end very well. But that being said, a lot of people don't realize that before they bought the Kings, they were actually in contract to buy the Tampa Bay Lightnings. They were within a week from closing that deal, and then the guy that was the NBA commissioner at the time called and said that the Sacramento Kings had come available, and because they used to own the Houston Rockets and their father passed away anyway, ultimately they said they wanted it, so they chose to go with the Kings. and that's how they came to own the Kings. And they owned the WNBA team, and they won a championship with them in Sacramento.
Well, we were talking about the Stack project that we're hoping to be involved with. Then you were asking me about this home. I'm going to tell you more about this home because I want you to come take a look at it. I think it needs $1 million upgrade. You can actually do these things. We can do renderings and do incredible improvements, but you do smaller projects as well. You do full commercial with Modern Elements Construction, correct?
Yeah, we do everything. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. I enjoy it. I did it 30 years ago. My family was more shocked than, or probably as much as I was, that I did it because I did not know which end of the hammer to hit. I was joking. So the first time I saw you, I thought you were driving a Ferrari Testarossa. It was a new C8. I hadn't seen him. So I told you this, Brian. Guy shows up, $60,000 Rolex, ostrich boots, and a white-on-white C8, which the C8 was brand new at the time. And I teased with him. I said, do you know if you have a right-handed or a left? You said, I don't know a right-handed hammer from a left-handed. However, you do some incredible things. You've been working in Southern California doing safe rooms and things. Incredibly complex stuff where you're going to the manufacturers. You're meeting Navy SEALs. You're doing things to build things for people and making it happen. You're not going to Walmart and buying some. I mean, not Walmart, Home Depot and buying something. You are fabricating, making things for some incredible homes and facilities. Once again, I had a very unique opportunity to work with security details that were ex-Navy SEALs, and they were nice enough to get me into some areas that aren't open to everybody, I guess, and we created some really cool safe rooms with Kevlar and drywall. Kevlar drywall. Yeah. And, so you can blast it and it does nothing. We took it out to the desert just to see, and all we did was just piss it off. I mean, it's like a hardy board but stronger. Yeah, it's very heavy. It takes quite a few people to install it, but it makes a great safe room. And so that was a lot of fun, too. So I've enjoyed that. City National Center is the Knights practice facility. Mm-hmm. It's right there in downtown Summerlin. Beautiful facility. You said you had a great story about that. Well, as we watch the Golden Knights right here in studio playing the Avalanche. Have they scored yet? I haven't. It's 0-0. And it's funny because it's 0-0, and Brian said, who's winning? Well, that's the thing in soccer. You ever hear them on soccer? They're playing, and they'll talk. It'll be at the half or something. They're talking. They're like, oh, yeah, we're doing great. I'm like, wait, it's 0-0. What do you mean? It's, we're moving the ball so great. It's like, okay. But it's still 0-0. It's still 0-0. This team is moving the ball better than the other team, so they're winning. Okay, what's the score? Okay, 0-0. Yeah. So City National Center, give us your great story. It was a great story in the fact that going back to branding, and obviously the Golden Knights, it's an armor suit. And the armor suit that this company was trying to, sell them, I guess, was not really made of metal. It was made of like a hardened plastic and everything. It was very cheap. Well, my stepson actually found a guy in L.A. who makes armored suits from scratch. I mean, he hand beats them, okay, and makes them. And they're real. I mean, they're not fake. This sword was real, and I did not know that they still have competition in California with these. You could literally put this suit on, and we had 4 of them, because the guy who does the skating for the Knights and beats on it, he has one. Is it like those Renaissance Fair guys? Yeah, but they actually do battles, and it's competition, and it weighs a ton. I mean, the sword itself, you can barely lift. So it was a cheapy one that was plastic, was original, and you were instrumental. Yeah. Well, they wanted to charge him $50,000 for a plastic one, and the ones we had made were $7,000. And they were real. So that's the kind of things that, we found and we do and we look for. That's the fun stuff when you find things like that. And the guy was really weird. He was a stuntman in movies in California, and he played Darth Vader in a show, and because he was real big. I can't think of his name now, but it was a very bizarre situation, but worked out real well for me because it was one of the fun things. So you do renovations and everything. So you do the high-end things, but talk more about your business, Modern Elements Construction. You worked on my wife's company. They have 185,000 square feet. Oh, that thing is crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. They had a mega flood. We're talking about a flood that the main water pipe that was, I don't know what the diameter, 3 or 4 feet, was so strong it broke the slab. We're talking tremendous force, $1 million, 7-figure. Did you see the pictures where the water was coming through the CMU wall like a waterfall out the side? It had like 3 feet of water in this thing, and the water was literally coming out the side of the building through the block wall. I mean, it was really bad.
So you were able to work on that,
we did that.
Reconstruction stuff. You can do smaller jobs as well. We're talking about tenant improvements for luxury car condos. Ticor Title, which one?
The one up on 215.
By City Center.
Yeah. I've done Chicago Title. I did Ticor because they're all under that one umbrella, and we did a lot of stuff for them. So.
Roy and I, we were at Ticor Title up on the 5th floor. That's what a beautiful view, right? You're right level with the Red Rock. You can see the 180 Club, and everybody sits there. I always take photos for them on their signing because you look right all the way up the canyon.
Do you ever go to the ice cream shop there?
There? Or
in Town Square?
Well, yes. Right there by the end. You built that too?
Yeah, we built that one.
Real nice.
Yeah. The guy who owns it's my accountant.
Oh, yeah? We run up on a break. We're watching Knights still 0-0. Been great talking with you so this far on this. We're talking with Todd Barrett with Modern Elements Construction. We appreciate it. This is Ticor Title. Thank you so much for being our partner. We'll be right back after the break. This is the Richard Husel Real Estate Hour. We're back on the Richard Husel Real Estate Hour live in the Las Vegas Strip. We're watching a little Golden Knights going. It's 0-0, but you said, Jim, you said they have twice the amount of shots on goals, so some people would say that means they're winning. Obviously, the goalie's is doing well for the Avalanche.
Looks like Colorado's gotten a few more shots on goal, but still no score. It's 10-8. The Golden Knights are leading the shots on goal, but still.
And they survived the power play, so that's always good.
Survive the shower play. We are leaving, it's staying light so nice. Roy and I, once we pull out of here, we've got an amazing listing that I'm putting up now because the previous photos online are amazing. We've got 2 in the same neighborhood. By the way, the old manager for the Golden Knights lives right next door, 10313 Jade Point. And we also have the other one, 10334 Jade Garden. We're going over to do Twilight Show. It's Roy, right after this. We're doing Twilight Drone. We're doing shots in the morning at 7:30 as it streaks. If you want to see a gorgeous house that priced at 1.5, there we got 2 of them on the same street. One is paid for solar, very private backyard. The other one, the backyard, if I told you it was a $2.5, $3.5 million house, you'd see it absolutely gorgeous. Can't wait to have that on. But we're streaking right out of here in about 15 minutes. We're hitting the gas. We've got the drone photos at 6:30.
It was a model home, wasn't it?
It was a previous model home. It's in Oluna. Yeah, the Golden Knights general manager, I forgot his last name. He lives one house over.
Well, there's only been one general manager, George McPhee. He was the general manager.
Maybe that's who it is. I don't know him.
Maybe. I don't know.
You'd be in the neighborhood?
We're talking about solar.
Kelly McCrimmon.
Solar.
Oh, no, he still is. Well,
Kelly McCrimmon sounds familiar.
It is. Yeah. That was another story. But anyway, yes, he is. Yeah. Kelly McCrimmon, George McPhee. But you were talking about solar.
Oh, Brian and I love solar. Oh. Well, I got to tell you, we don't. I mean that facetiously. The only time I like solar is when it is paid for, and I don't even like it then. I'll tell you why. Because people go, oh, my solar's free. No, it isn't. You're putting 20% down on your house. You're paying 6.5% compounded interest on your solar. And most people don't even know how to use the calculator right. They look at the summer. They don't take the low months when your bill would be below that par. They don't figure their baseline. Most times you're only saving it 5 or 6 months. Your payout's typically 15, 16 years. And by the way, my wife knows the biggest electrical contractor in town. He has it on his house. He goes, I sell electric. That's all I do for a living. And we're talking about a guy with a private jet type of electrician. Casino guy. He's like, nah, it's not for me. I wouldn't do it. If it wasn't on here now, I wouldn't do it again. Tell us what your thoughts.
And I agree with you on houses. Houses, unless you can purchase them, the return takes too long.
Too long. Most people move in 7-8 years. It takes 15.
But I would tell anybody that was building a commercial building, like these Lux lockers or whatever they're called, I would definitely consider doing it there because people will pay more money because they think it's environmentally friendly and all of that. So you can increase your rent, which helps offset it a little bit faster.
I got to tell you, so I'm a licensed property manager, and I have houses that are cookie cutter right next to the other one. And we're like, hey, you got free electric, save you $300. I can't get an extra more than $50 a month. The only way you can really do it is if somehow you charge for that electric. The problem with the electric is they'll only give the credit back to the person who actually has it in their name, so you transfer it. But you said you'd put it onto a commercial property?
I would recommend to people who build commercial to do it, because I think it's a good rental saving thing. People who are into that are going to be more likely to rent something that they think is environmentally friendly, whether it is or not. It is
a feel-good.
It's a psychological thing.
Yeah, I've got somebody that owes $41,000, and I said I think the best analogy for this would be having it owing $40,000, and you say, "Hey, I got a credit card, and I only have to pay $300 a month on it." Yes, you have a smaller payment in the front. You still owe all that money, and then the next person goes to buy it, they got to finance it. Brian, we know stories when people have been able to buy an FHA house with maybe a very low credit score of, say, 600, 620, and then we have the lender comes in with overlays for the solar. They want a 680, maybe even a 700 score. Watch deals fall out.
It kills deals.
What's more common is the debt to income, right?
Well, we had a deal not too long ago where they were supposed to assume a deal at 2%, and then they said, "No, we don't do that anymore. Your new deal is 10."
What happens if somebody buys it and then say, "I don't want the solar"? I mean, how does that?
You can't. It comes with it. You're going to buy it. There's a lien on the home. If you're talking about assumptions, we're talking about power purchase agreements, that is yours. The only way it works is Lennar was building it right into the house.
Oh, no. We bought a Lennar. We were forced to get it, and we couldn't put it in the loan. It was separate.
Really?
Yeah. And if you didn't want it, too bad. Go buy another community.
I think they're great for camping, maybe your motorhome, or for little powers to do it, but it generally does not pencil out. Nothing fun about that. Brian, rates are, what do we see?
Yeah,
so Brian and I, every morning, about 5, 6 in the morning, we text each other the 10-year. It is just wild. About 90 days ago, pre-war, a week out, we were at a 5.99 average. There's a new Fed in there. I just got to tell you this. Don't hang your hat on waiting for the rates to come down because there's a new Fed chair. They just doesn't quite work like it. Wars are inflationary. Everything is still up. On a bright side, though, if you are a buyer and you can afford the rate, there's less competition. There's more sellers. We are one of the top markets for what we call a buyer's market. It means what they call absorption rate, how many homes are for sale. Look at the days on market. Get yourself a good agent that is going to go out and, in a nice way, make some offers. And don't be afraid. I get beat up every day.
There's been a lot more inventory popping on the market. What do you think's motivating it?
People want to move. They pent up demand. They've got a growing family. You and I closed a deal with somebody right now. They moved from a 25 to a 31. They got a bun in the oven, and they said they were tired of waiting. They're going to go ahead and do it, pull the trigger. Now, we know how many people have these lower rates. We call that being priced in, or they call that golden handcuffs. The rate's so low, they go to buy a new house. You and I got somebody approved for the buy before you sell program, which is amazing. And then that was pre-war, right in the war. All of a sudden, they go to price it. What are we at? 50 basis points, and the rates are up. They get price shock. They're at the very edge of their debt to income, and that's where it's at. But on the one side, yes, you're still getting near record high prices, a little off there. However, with a buyer, do not be afraid to go out and beat somebody up. It is not 2021 again. 22.
My concern is we're getting into that same situation. These people that bought 2-3 years ago, when the rates were really high, they're realizing they can't afford that payment. And my concern is that
foreclosures are up.
If we're going to get in that foreclosure problem again.
Well, we had those temporary buy-downs that are expiring now.
Well, we've had new home builders on our show multiple times, Richmond American and such. They were doing serious buy-downs and really doing it. And on the standing inventory, it's up. Now, we just closed a deal with KB Homes a week ago on Friday. You and I were talked. You actually talked to them about rate. Their rate was nothing. You were right there on match, and the only reason you actually were able to beat it is that they were going to give back a little bit of money towards the closing costs, but I think they still closed into the 6s. That's with a new home builder. Now, that was a dirt build, not a move-in. We're on the last 2 minutes. Give us one more fun story. You build casinos.
You got me interested in talking about the real estate.
That's boring. We talk about that every day.
Yeah, but I don't get to. No. One last story. Okay. What do we? We
got a minute.
We got a minute. Okay. We did a floating staircase in a house in marble, which had never been done at the time, and it doesn't work because a floating staircase means that all the stairs are extended out and they flex. Well, the stone would break, but we went back and engineered it, and we got it to where it took 1.5 feet of steel, but we got it, no breakage.
There you go.
So
there
those
you
are
go.
the fun things I get to do.
Been talking with Todd Barrett, Modern Element Construction here in Vegas. Been around a long time. Former radio host in another life. K-Ram, we love country music. That was back in those days. You know them. We appreciate Tycor Title. If you need a rate, you want a second opinion, you're in a deal. Brian Ichikawa, theratepro.com. Easy to find his numbers. Tell him you got the easiest dashboard online to look at.
It's the easiest one. You can shop any type of loan scenario.
You don't have to put any information to get it. Take a look. We're running up on time. See you tomorrow on the